Good day, everyone. I hope you are doing well. So, for this recorded lecture, our topic will be about judicial review of or relief against administrative sanctions. So, we are now in the part of our topics wherein there is already a decision that was issued by the administrative agency. So, kung may decision na ba, game over na ba for the aggrieved party or for the respondent? Hindi pa. Kasi meron pa pong mga susunod na pwedeng gawin. Okay? So, what are these? We will talk about them in this lecture. The first thing that we should know is the concept of judicial review. So, what's this judicial review? This is any form of judicial scrutiny of a matter which arises when such action is brought into question before a court. So this time, in this part of our lecture, we are now going to connect the proceedings from the admin agency going to the regular courts of justice. Kasi kung natapos na yung kaso mo sa administrative agency, if the rules and the law so permits, pwede po yang ipa-review doon sa ating regular courts. For the regular courts to determine if there are valid grounds para i-modify o i-reverse yung ginawang decision ng admin agency. O, di ba ang saya? If you are the respondent for that case and you think that the decision against you needs to be corrected because there are grounds that allows for its correction, meron ka pang chance and you now go to the regular courts in order to make your arguments, for your sound arguments to be heard ng court na mismo para i-correct kung tama ka man na meron talagang reason for correction doon sa ginawang decision ng admin agency. So what's the purpose ba nito? Ito, to assure, para isigurado by the intervention of the ordinary or regular courts, ito, that administrative power is exercised according to law. Kuha? Kasi mamaya may mga irregularities na pala na nangyari during the admin agency hearing or during the appreciation of evidence by the hearing officer. And there are certain actions na labag sa batas. Okay? Through the process of judicial review, sumangguni ka na sa korte, you may have these errors of law corrected. Kuha? Even error of facts, especially in the appreciation of the evidence so presented. Okay? So that's your concept of judicial review in order to correct administrative decisions. But be reminded of the general rule that there is a policy of the courts not to interfere with the actions of government agencies, particularly admin agencies, entrusted with the regulation of activities coming under their special knowledge and training or specific field of expertise. Kaya nga merong admin agency. Kaya may Department of Environment and Natural Resources, merong Department of Education, merong Civil Service Commission, di ba? Kaya nga meron yang mga yan kasi they have a particular law that they are experts of, that they are tasked to implement. Kaya the policy, the general rule is, courts, hands off sila dyan. Okay? Hands off sila dyan. That's the general rule. Meaning to say, they will not interfere with how these agencies implement the law. Pero, there's an exception. The exception is, unless there is a clear showing of capricious and whimsical exercise of judgment. Okay? Sumobra sila doon sa pag-exercise ng kanilang judgment. Or, there is grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction. Inabuso nila ng napakatindi yung kanilang discretion, yung paggawa nila ng decision. At because of that abuse of discretion, it's now tantamount or equal to na parang wala na silang jurisdiction. Considering that by their nature and functions, they are in the best position to know the limits of their powers under prevailing circumstances or situations. Kuha? So, because of that grave abuse of discretion, the courts will now come into play. They will now interfere because there is already a glaring error of law that is happening. Kuha? So therefore, the courts will now correct whatever errors were made by the administrative agency. So that's the policy of our courts. So now let's go to the different rules that governs appeals from judgment of quasi-judicial agencies. But before we go to the specifics, I will just show you some examples of agencies na pwede nating i-apply itong judicial review na ito para i-correct yung decision na inilabas ng isang administrative agency. Among these agencies are the following. So, tingnan natin. Nandyan po si Civil Service Commission, nandyan si Securities and Exchange Commission, Land Registration Authority. Take note, even the decision of the Office of the President itself. Okay? All of this that you can see in the screen, pwede pong mag-appeal pataas sa regular courts yan para i-review yung kanilang inilabas na decision. Not only those, meron pa. Nandyan si DAR, nandyan si GSIS, nandyan si Agricultural Inventions Board, nandyan si Insurance Commission, among others. Okay? So, marami, no? Marami. So, all of these, their decisions can be subjected to what we call judicial review. So now, how can we trigger this judicial review ba? Okay, so may inilabas na issue. I'm sorry for that. So, may inilabas na decision. Example, si Civil Service Commission and the respondent is disadvantaged and he feels aggrieved. So, paano po niya i-question yung decision kung meron siyang makitang valid grounds? Mag-apply po siya or gamitin po niya yung tinatawag natin na appeal. Okay, appeal. An appeal that will be filed to the court, and this will now trigger the court's judicial review power over these administrative agencies acting on their quasi-judicial functions. So, what particular court i-apply yung appeal or i-file yung appeal? Okay? Basically, it's the Court of Appeals. Hindi po sa RTC. Papunta na po agad siya sa mas mataas na court, the Court of Appeals. So, take note of that, please. And ano yung mga possible grounds? Questions of fact of law, okay, questions of facts, question of law, or even a mixed questions of facts and law. So, that's where you appeal. Period to appeal. You encounter again the period of 15 days. Okay? You only have 15 days to appeal the decision of the quasi-judicial agency. Pero ang mas importante rin na tanong, kailan mo po bibilangin yung 15 days? Una, from notice of the judgment. So, if today na-issue yung notice of judgment, or if today nailabas yung decision at nabigyan ka na ng copy ng decision, okay, that's the notice itself. You receiving the copy of the decision, you start counting 15 days na. Okay, pero as I told you in the previous recorded lecture, I told you, how do we count? Under the Civil Code, the first day is excluded and the last day is included. Remember that. Or, paano naman kung nag-file ng motion for reconsideration? Alam na ninyo to, I think . Okay? magre-reset. Magre-reset yung 15 days. At bilangin mo ulit yung 15 days from the time na na-receive mo, na-notify ka na, o na-receive mo na yung decision doon sa MR mo. Kung granted siya o hindi. Okay? You restart the 15 days. Regardless kung pang ilang day mo i-file yung MR mo after mo na-receive yung decision. And we also have here another date of reckoning the reglementary period from the date of its last publication if there are cases wherein the decisions are published. Okay, to notify parties who were not able to be physically present during the proceedings. May mga ganyan na situation. Okay? And also, please remember the rule, only one MR is allowed. Hindi po pwede ang multiple MR. At hindi pwede yung mag-refile ka ulit ng MR after na na-deny yung una mong MR. Just one. Okay. In continuation to the period of appeal, take note, upon proper motion of the payment of the full amount of the docket fee before the expiration of the reglementary period. Opo, may bayad po. Ang tawag natin ay docket fee kung tayo ay mag-a-appeal ng admin cases decision papunta sa Court of Appeals. But the important thing here is the Court of Appeals may grant an additional period of 15 days only within which to file the petition for review. Okay, so 15 days po yung appeal mo, yung period to appeal mo, pwede mo po siyang ipa-extend for another 15 days. So totaling 30 days. Pero ang condition po, with your motion to extend, dapat magbayad ka po ng docket fee muna. If no payment is given of the docket fee, hindi po siya extended. Pero pang ilang beses tayo pwede magpa-extend? Only once. Okay? No further extension shall be allowed except for the most compelling reasons and in no case to exceed another period of 15 days. How appeal is taken? Appeal shall be taken by filing a verified petition for review. Okay, yun yung tawag natin doon sa ifa-file mo na pleading or legal document papunta sa Court of Appeals. Verified petition for review, yun yung title niya. And medyo strict sa number of copies, 7 legible copies with the Court of Appeals. At magbigay ka rin ng proof of service. Okay? Na ibinigyan mo, for example, through registered mail, nagpadala ka ng mail matter doon sa kalaban mo containing the verified petition for review. Merong ilalabas yun na resibo si post office, na yung resibo meron siyang serial number. Yun yung kukopyahin mo yung number doon sa ipa-file mo sa Court of Appeals. And that will prove na binigyan mo po ng kopya yung opposing party mo. And the original copy of the petition intended for the Court of Appeals shall be indicated by such by the petitioner. Tatatakan mo ng original yung pupunta sa Court of Appeals. So that's the gist of the filing of the verified petition for review. Pero dagdagan pa natin ang ating kaalaman paano gawin ang appeal. Next. Okay, magkano yung docket fee? 500 pesos. Okay? The sum of 500 pesos for cost. Meron bang time na walang bayad? Meron naman. Exemption from payment of docketing and other lawful fees and the deposit for costs may be granted by the Court of Appeals upon a verified motion, pero patunayan mo yung reasons kung bakit mo ito ini-invoke. For example, the litigant is a pauper. Okay? Meron exemption for pauper litigants in the payment of such fees. If the Court of Appeals denies the motion, the petitioner shall pay the docketing and other lawful fees and deposit for costs within 15 days from notice of the denial. Okay? And then nandyan ulit yung 15 days na yan. Okay? So that's the mode or the way to file the appeal. Next question is, what are now the contents that are needed to be read inside that petition for review? Okay, isa-isahin natin, no? State the full names of the parties, of course. Contain the concise statement of facts. Lagay mo yung summary. Lagay mo yung summary ng ipinaglalaban na facts ng side mo at ng side ng kalaban mo. And you also make or state the issues involved and the grounds relied upon for the review. Okay? State mo na, bakit mo ipinapa-review sa court yung decision ng judicial or ng quasi-judicial agency o ng admin agency na yon. So sabihin mo, saan nagkamali? Sa appreciation ba yan ng evidence, ng facts? Sa pag-apply ba ng law? O parehas? And take note you must also prove na yung mga grounds gaya ng grave abuse of discretion, yung mga yon. That's where you argue. That's where you use your skill, your ability to argue. Okay? Make it sound. Okay? Make it a sound argument, of course. The convincing, merong batas na nag-rely ka, and logical. Alright? Next, in the contents, it must be accompanied by a clearly legible duplicate original or a certified true copy of the award, the judgment, or the final order. I-attach mo yung kopya nung decision, nung full decision na ina-appeal mo sa court. Okay? Together with the certified true copies of such material portions of the record as are referred to therein and other supporting papers. Yung mga in-attach na evidence, mga affidavit, mga pictures, documents, and others, ilagay mo rin para i-review nga eh. So how can the Court of Appeals review it kung hindi mo ibibigay yung mga materials na laman ng arguments mo? Next, must also state all the specific material dates showing that it was filed within the reglementary period. Important po na i-prove mo na yung appeal mo ay na-file within that period of 15 days. Kung wala yung statement na yon, wag mong pahirapan yung Court of Appeals. Okay, may maraming cases ang ina-appeal diyan, kaya ilagay mo to help them compute how that you obeyed indeed the 15 days reglementary period, and must also contain a sworn certification against forum shopping. In simple explanation, forum shopping is the act of filing your case to different courts. Ano yung purpose mo? Umaasa ka na one court will give you a favorable judgment. Baka kasi sa ibang court, pumalya, matalo ka. That's forum shopping. Okay? You are going to different courts hoping for the best chance to win. Bawal po yan. Okay? Kaya doon sa appeal mo, mayroon kang sworn statement, a sworn certification na sinasabi mo, dito lang sa Court of Appeals ko i-final itong appeal na ito. Hindi ko ito final sa ibang court, sa ibang agency ng government. And kung linabag ko ito, I will be subject to criminal prosecution. Okay. So those are the different contents of the petition for review. And take note, they are very important that the lack of any of these contents that I mentioned is fatal to the appeal that you will file. Madi-dismiss po yan. Okay. Ito, naunahan ko na. Okay? The effect is dismissal kung yung mga content at idagdag natin. Pati rin po yung non-payment of the docket and other lawful fees. Whatever na babayaran mo sa CA, kung hindi mo binayaran, crucial po yon doon sa appeal mo. Madidismiss yan kung hindi mo sinunod. Ayan, contents. Yung proof na binigyan mo yung kopya binigyan mo ng kopya yung other party, yung kalaban mo, as well as any other na inire-require ng batas para ma-perfect mo yung appeal. Okay? So, yun. Na-file mo na. Okay, granting na-file mo na. What comes next? It will be on the part of the court already that will do the action after you file the necessary petition for your appeal. So the Court of Appeals may require the respondent to file a comment. Okay. We call the respondent yung appellee, yung tao na hindi nag-appeal. Okay, sasagot siya siyempre. Okay? Ang ifa-file naman niya yung comment. Tinatawag natin na comment. Okay? Para klaro, yung nag-a-appeal, we call him or her the appellant. Yung ifa-file niya ay petition for review. Yung namang respondent doon na sa Court of Appeals level, ang tawag natin sa kanya, yung sasagot, ang tawag natin sa kanya, appellee or appellee. Yung ifa-file naman niya ay tinatawag natin na comment. Okay, comment to the petition for review or simply comment. How long na magpa-file siya? Within 10 days. Mas konti, no? Imagine. Okay? So, yung mag-a-appeal, 15 days yung palugit niya. Yung sasagot naman na sa appeal, 10 days yung palugit niya to file his comment. Okay? Kailan i-recon yung 10 days? The moment na na-receive na po niya yung kopya ng petition, magi-start na yung counting ng 10 days yan. But again i-apply the rule. The first day is excluded, the last day is included. The court, however, take note, may dismiss the petition. Okay. Kahit hindi na mag-require si court na mag-file ng comment si appellee, si respondent, pwede pong ma-dismiss agad-agad. What's the ground? If it finds the petition to be patently without merit. Okay, prima facie, unang basa pa lang ng Court of Appeals, wala ito. This is without logic, without law, without basis. This is without merit. Dismiss ko na. It will just waste the time and resources of the court kung i-allow pa na mag-proceed into the filing of the comment of the appellee. Ano pa yung other grounds na dismissal outright? Or if the filing is manifestly for delay. Okay. Ayaw lang nung tao na nag-appeal na ma-execute agad yung decision. Kaya nag-appeal siya para ma-stop muna yung pag-execute ng decision. Dine-delay lang, di ba? Ayaw pang matanggap yung naging decision, kaya he will do ways just such as the filing of the appeal para lang ma-delay. Or the questions raised are too unsubstantial. Okay, yun nga. Walang basis, walang kwentang argument. Ang obvious naman na yung sinasabi ng law, ganyan pa yung sinasabi. May mga ganun, no? So these are the 3 grounds for the court to outrightly dismiss a petition for review, even without requiring the respondent to file a comment. So, granting na nagtuloy yung petition, hindi siya outrightly dismiss at na-require na mag-file ng comment yung respondente o yung appellee, ano naman po yung contents ng kanyang comment? Tingnan natin. The comment will have supporting papers. I-attach mo rin. Kung nag-attach yung petitioner ng mga kopya ng records, ng mga important affidavits and other documents and other evidence, same is true with the comment. Siyempre, argument nga labanan yan ng arguments, kaya labaran din yan ng supporting documents. Okay? Okay, 10 days. It shall point out insufficiencies or inaccuracies in the petitioner's statement of facts and issues and state the reasons why the petition should be denied or dismissed. Yan naman yung goal ng comment, no? As much as possible, ayaw niya na mabaliktad, mabago yung naging decision ng administrative agency. Kaya therefore, i-oppose naman niya yung petition na ang goal ay para mabago, ma-modify yung decision. Labanan yan ng appellant and ng appellee. Okay. So, na-receive na yung comment. What comes next? upon the filing of the comment or upon the expiration of the period of the filing, o hindi siya nag-file ng comment, and on the basis of the petition, the Court of Appeals finds prima facie that the agency concerned has committed errors of fact or law that would warrant the reversal or modification of the judgment, it may give due course to the petition. Ibig sabihin, magpro-proceed na yan doon sa actual na decision making ng Court of Appeals. Okay? Pero, kung at this stage, na-convinced na si Court of Appeals nung comment na i-file ni respondent, naka-dismiss talaga yung petition for appeal or petition for review, pwede rin po niyang i-dismiss na rin. Okay? This provision is what we call giving due course to the petition. Okay. So, granting. Nag-file na ng comment, convince si Court of Appeals na prima facie, ibig sabihin po, prima facie, at first glance, kahit hindi mo pa i-review yung decision, ay nagmumuka na meron ngang nangyaring error doon sa pag-issue ng decision. Yan yung ibig sabihin ng prima facie. Okay? Granting na nagbigay ng due course na si Court of Appeals, this is what will happen next. Transmittal of records. Within 15 days from notice that the petition has been given due course, the Court of Appeals may now require the agency concerned, example sa civil service, i-require niya si civil service to transmit the original or eligible certified true copy of the, take note ha, entire record of the proceedings. Iba ito doon sa isinubmit na kopya ni petitioner at ni appellee doon sa sinasabi dito na record. Kasi problema yun ng petitioner, problema rin ng magpa-file ng comment kung ano yung mga i-attach nila at kung paano nila isa-certify na true copy. Pero up to the time na makita ni Court of Appeals na prima facie, meron ngang error. Sige nga, i-hearing ko na to or I will decide on this na. Kunanan to, he or the Court of Appeals Justice will now require yung pinanggalingan na admin agency nung case na ipasa yung buong records, all the documents, all the evidence na hawak-hawak nung agency na yon, itra-transmit na po papunta sa Court of Appeals para si Court of Appeals na ang may hawak para ma-review niya talaga. So the justice in charge will now review the entire record. Okay? At hanggang kailan po dapat matransmit? Within 15 days from the notice of the order na meron ng due course na binibigay si Court of Appeals for the appeal. Take note, 15 days na naman. Okay? Next, the record to be transmitted may be abridged. Pwede siyang summarize by agreement of all the parties to the proceeding. Okay? By agreement ha. The Court of Appeals may require or permit subsequent correction of or addition to the record. Okay? Hindi pa touch move kung ano yung mga documents na nanggaling sa administrative agency. May power to correct subsequently or to add subsequently si Court of Appeals. Okay. So, yun na. Next. What is now then the effect of the appeal? Generally, the appeal shall not stay the award, the judgment, or the final order. Meaning, general rule, kung ano yung inilabas na decision, yung effect po niya, dapat po, magiging valid and effective na siya agad. For example, may ipinasara na business establishment si SEC, na violate niya yung Securities and Exchange Commission rules. Kung may issue na decision, the general rule is that decision will be executed or taken effect, that it will take effect immediately kahit may appeal na i-file. That's a general rule. Exception is unless the Court of Appeals shall direct otherwise upon such terms as it may deem just. Okay, for case-to-case basis, justifiable reasons, makita ni Court of Appeals na wag nyo munang i-execute, wag nyo munang i-enforce yung decision. I-hearing muna namin, i-decide muna namin, then mai-stop po muna regardless yung presence nung decision na. Okay? So that's the effect of the appeal. Next, submission for decision. The time na magde-decide na po si Court of Appeals. If the petition is given due course, the Court of Appeals may set the case for oral arguments. O, ito yung mga nakikita natin sa online or sa radyo, mga oral arguments na yan. Okay? Or, okay, kung sabi kasi dito is may kaya discretionary kung magpapa-oral arguments, or may require the parties to submit memoranda. Memoranda is similar to a position paper. Okay? The position paper, isasubmit yan, or the memoranda, isasubmit yan, both parties, the appellant and the appellee, and their goal is to convince the Court of Appeals that their argument is the better argument. Their facts, their issues, the way they decided is better than the other party. Memoranda. And this memoranda will serve as the primary arguments of the parties, okay, to prove their case before the Court of Appeals. So, kung hindi oral argument, pwede through written documents which we call memoranda. O, kung kayo ba, siguro mas gusto ninyo yung oral arguments? Exposure ba? Okay? Memoranda, okay lang rin yan. Okay? Parang mas okay pa nga minsan yung memoranda kasi the reviewing body will have more time to analyze your argument and compare the arguments of each other. Okay? In a better setting. Unlike sa oral arguments, paano kung ninervyos ka? Ganda-ganda ng prepare mo na arguments, ninervyos ka sa pag-orally argue, delikado ka na. Okay? So, going back, kung na-require man yung memoranda, it will be submitted 15 days from notice. Okay? Magsubmit na kayo ng memorandum ninyo. Okay? You submit it within 15 days from the time you are notified to submit such memorandum. Okay? Memorandum singular. Okay? Memoranda referring to the memorandum of both sides na yan in plural form. The case shall be deemed submitted for decision upon the filing of the last memorandum. Okay? So, nagbigay ako ng memorandum ko today, yung kalaban ko tomorrow. By tomorrow, it will be submitted for decision. Magbibilang na tayo at maghihintay na mag-issue na ng decision si Court of Appeals, whether granting the appeal, meaning to say, nire-reverse niya or minomodify niya yung decision, or denying the appeal, meaning to say, the decision will remain as it is. Na tama yung admin agency sa pag-i-issue ng decision. And take note, which is very important, class, the Court of Appeals may only pass upon errors assigned. Kung ano lang yung inargue ni petitioner na error, na kamali raw doon sa pag-issue ng decision ng administrative agency, yun lang yung pwedeng tanggapin ng Court of Appeals na i-consider na maging rason para i-modify o i-reverse niya yung decision. Pero, kung si petitioner hindi niya nasali yung isang ground, touch move. Hindi na po yun papakialaman pa ng Court of Appeals. That's what we call the Court of Appeals may only pass upon errors assigned or assigned errors rule only.